Already. All right. So, alcohol.
I just get right into it. I love it.
Alcohol.
Fucking intro, right into it.
Is not. Where do I begin? This is Red Pill Tamales, but hey, it's good to be back, man. San Antonio was amazing. Dude, I was gone for so long because Austin was amazing. You know, I was like having to do laundry in the hotel pretty much.
Damn, that's rare.
Because I was doing jujitsu in the daytime, big time.
Sweating in the club, out the club.
Big time. And Sunday, right, we only had one show, and my plan was, go home as soon as you're done with the show.
Right.
As soon as you get your shmoney, hit the road, Jack. And I already had all my shit loaded in the car, bro, ready to go.
Yeah.
I had every intention. And then a gentleman is like, hey, dude, I got a nightclub. I got my own night over there. You know, man, how would you just come through, man, just real quick for this much? And I'm like, man, I got to ask the wife adjourn. And then she's like, yeah, I'll see you in the morning, and do not drive after that. You have to be safe with the check. No. But, dude.
Secure the bag.
So check this out. Because, see, Rob and I, we always have this debate of, like, weed versus alcohol, right? Mm-hmm. Now, in that club setting, yeah, absolutely, dog. Like, it's fun having that little, like, oh, hey. Because at first, I'm like, man, I just need a Diet Coke, bro. Like, I'm a 5-star athlete. I can't be...
I've been training all weekend.
Yeah, I can't afford to just be hungover the next day. I had to get on Hotep Jesus's live stream. That was lit. So, dude, I literally made it just in time.
Literally.
Hey, we good? This the link?
I got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes? Okay.
You good? Okay.
So paint the picture for us. Like, show's over, and then after the show's over, you get the heads up like, hey, I got this club.
Yeah.
You make an appearance.
Yeah, so then so my thing is this. I just finished entertaining people. I'm down to go entertain people in a nightclub setting. So I'm asking Buddy, I'm like, yo, you gonna take me straight to the DJ booth so I could get on the mic and, like, let's make it lit. He's like, no. This is, it's the vibe, bro. This is like ultra lounge, sports bar, ultra lounge. You gonna see, man, everybody got the hookah, bro. You ain't going straight to the DJ booth. Come, you gotta stand on the couch in our section. It's all about the section and the couch. And then every time they brought a bottle, they had like a sign, and it was like Chingo Bling culero saying, whoa. They got
the sparklers in there.
Yeah, a bunch of sparklers and, burr. And I'm like, all right, okay, I ain't did this shit in a long time. And then they're like, oh, dude, bro, I hired you. I mean, I really ain't getting nothing off of it except maybe the gram, like, come on, dog. We pour tequila in the mouth out here, dog. And I'm like, bro, you ain't finna just have one of these ladies pour tequila in my mouth.
Unless I can pick her out.
I was like, I just got this little Diet Coke, bro. I wasn't even supposed to be here. And I'm like, all right, man, you got to turn up. So I'm like, all right, now I got some tequila in my mouth. Some fell in my cup. And
start feeling a little younger all of a sudden.
But really, I didn't even drink that much, bro. It's just like the amount that would be like, if I was at your house, you're like, come on, bitch. Just a little double shot of tequila. Just sip on that. Babysit that for as long as possible. And tequila's delicious. You feel great. Now, you get to the room. You take your ZMA pills to sleep good. Because I had to get up like at 6 a.m. I had to set my alarm. And
what time is it now? What time is it now?
Oh, at this point, it's probably like 2.
Okay.
Yeah, easily. Oof. No, probably 2:15 to be honest, because you got to drive home and, I didn't want to be Mr. like, oh, you paid me, and I'm like, I got a hard out in 1 hour, right? So I'm just like, all right, man, well, fuck it, man. Wait till last call or whatever. And then some other people I know, Carlton Zeus and some of his people showed up, and I met this female barber. She's like a social media content person. And then the dude that hired me, he's like big on Instagram with doing like reels and shit. Okay. Like real estate.
Okay.
Real estate type stuff. But anyway, so I'm like, man, we're having a good time. We just finished 6 shows, man. We just did a whole weekend, 6 shows, bro. Like,
live it up, man.
And Juan was there. I'm like, Juan, you good, bro? Hey, man, 6 shows, my dog. So that's like us.
I could just see him like, yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, like, now he's on C4, and he's on his 3rd C4.
Oh, the drink.
Yeah. So anyway, them ZMA pills, I didn't know, because all of a sudden, the room is like spinning. So now I'm like, bro, I've been doing jujitsu every day. I'm going backwards. What am I doing? I don't know how to say no. Like, you knew you didn't really fuck with alcohol like that, And I was just like, God damn, the room's spinning like a motherfucker. Next thing you know, I'm like heaving, like, hup, and them pills wanted to come out. Like,
What?
psh, yes. And then I had to like run to the restroom and everything else. And yeah, threw that shit up. And needless to say, yesterday, drove in. I guess I got up at 8. I overslept my alarm. Drove in, went straight to the office. Did the thing, the show with Hotep Jesus. After that, went home, like showered, and just kind of like took a quick little nap or whatever. And we're gonna get into politics. I know this Red Pill Tamales. You see the new merch right here, Big Don.
Yeah,
when is that store gonna be?
We got to decide on it. We got a couple of the designs to load up there and then see what you think. But that was one of the first renderings of it.
Some of y'all thought this was a rash guard, Big Don.
Give a little flex for the camera, Chingo.
Nah, I'm not finna flex for nobody, bro. But hey, yo, I learned so much, man. Shout out to 10th Planet Austin. Got a private lesson over there.
Curtis Embroff.
Yeah, for sure. Also, the young man that did the tutorial, Jacob Norton, I believe is his name, but youngster, but he covered concepts so well. Like, you know, basically, this is one way to think about it, man. You trying to waterboard these motherfuckers. He's like, you gotta take up space. He's a little dude. He's like 135, right? And he's like, bro, you gotta like get up in there, take up space, put your weight on them. You trying to like, yeah. But yeah, I learned a whole bunch of shit. And then I went to also Henzo Gracie, San Antonio. Shout out to Phil Platt. And then Aunt Lopez over at 10th Planet, San Antonio. So every day, bro.
That's badass.
Just like spiritually, just mental health wise, just made so many friends. Like they're like, bro, get on our podcast, bro. It's called the Dab Room. And I'm like, where y'all recorded? They're like, right there in the Dab Room. If you got a Dab Room at your jiu-jitsu spot, bro, I don't know. I think we come from the same cloth.
We just became best friends.
I learned a whole bunch of shit, bro. Very cool to be out in San Antonio and Austin and kind of take your time, settle in, and schedule out, your stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, dog.
Was it pure no-gi weekend? Like all no-gi? Or did you
yes, I packed 2 gis because I didn't really know until I like zoomed in on like, wait, oh shit, okay, damn, turns out everything was no-gi.
Oh, that's cool.
Did a lot of wrestling stuff. It was almost like a fight camp.
Yeah.
Baby Glock fight camp.
Ooh, okay.
This is why. You're getting you're rolling with different people. I kind of fucked my hand up though. I fucked my arm.
It looked worse yesterday.
Yeah, no, I fucked something up. That's my fault. You got to know how not to put your hands on the mat and shit when you
how to fall, how to frame.
When you're rolling around, you can't have your hand placed a certain way and then they roll on top of it. Anyway, so like Phil over at Henzo, it was more like wrestling type style. I mean, we did a lot of jiu-jitsu too, but it was a lot of like, bump, shoot, change levels. What's that little warm up where it's like a lunge?
When you slide
with the knee
across, yeah.
Yeah, I was very uncoordinated with that, but I think I'm starting to get it. But yeah, dude, a whole bunch of moves, roll with different people. So you rolling with some people, and it's like, bro, this dude is like slithers like a snake, like just finds any opening. You think you got him in some shit, like you think you're like gaining position and you're advancing or whatever the fuck the lingo is, and next thing you know, he's just like doop 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 doop. Slip, reset.
I get that
rubber guard.
text.
Fuck,
man, I got exposed.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm a white belt, no stripes, and I haven't been the most consistent.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was a lot of reps.
I don't know who it is, but like you said, advancing is the right word, right? I don't know if it was one of the Gracie greats where like the process is to advance, right? And the way he would frame it is like, once you go to 1, you go to 2. When you go to 2, you go to 3. There's no going back to 2. From 3, you go to 4. He's just like, you just keep on it until you get the submission that you want.
Yeah.
That's what you were learning. You learn how to kill, like from 1 to kill.
Just a lot of shit, bro. Defend. Just a bunch of cool, Goji Plata and Loco Plata. And then the whole, this is New Jersey. This is New York. This is mission control.
So I'm assuming you had to do some flexible stuff, like where is it all kind of like rubber guard, high guard, kind of like go plata stuff with your feet over their necks and shit?
Yeah, that's why I got to make sure my core is strong.
Yeah. How'd you feel? Like because that's pretty new stuff, like doing 10th Planet stuff specific.
Oh, it's great. It's like new school. It's like it's like you had I guess in Japan you had jiu-jitsu first, and then the Brazilians put their spin on it. And then Eddie Bravo just did it American style and just added a whole bunch of new school shit. And I guess it's a myth that, I mean, it's debatable, right? It's like, do you have to be super flexible to be able to do all that rubber guard stuff? What I found, what they were telling me is like, bro, especially when some of the dudes are like, bro, I'm an old man like you, bro. Like, you want to do old man row.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like, if you're on your right hip, if you're pretty angled a lot sideways, it's super easy to get your leg how you need it or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not so much like flexible. It's like how you turn your leg or whatever, all that knee hip shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you hear it in my voice, but it's like all of yesterday was crap. That's the point I was trying to make. All of yesterday was trash. Like Marisol's trying to talk to me. She's like, look, boom, 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 boom. Check it out. Look, Salt Lake City, da-da-da, fly in. Okay, let me finish this email, da-da-da. Vegas, all right, what are we doing? And the whole time I'm just like, yeah, like, just like, yeah. And just from...
I'm on 4 hours of sleep.
Just from one appearance. Just from one little appearance and one, like, just a little bit of, like, oh, shit, okay, hey, man, pour a little bit of Ciroc.
You
and
felt
it's just
that
like...
bad, huh?
I mean, you hear me this morning. It's like I'm already on my second. I've already had 2 nights of sleep, and I'm still over here.
Is that the case you're trying to make? Like, hey, it's weed or nothing at this point.
No, it's just like I forget. See, that's the thing, bro. Especially with alcohol, it's like sometimes when people are like, "Man, I ain't never drinking again," because I don't like this feeling. Whatever it is, I feel like I mixed the wrong shit. You're just trying to figure it out. Maybe I was dehydrated. Maybe I need a cheeseburger. And
I feel like that's the Discord every weekend. Like, man, I went in too hard. Or, man,
and you forget, and then you remember.
And when you're throwing up all over the place.
I mean, you remember when you're like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Either I'm just not built for that shit.
Oh, come on, you're built for it.
I mean, bro, come on, Rob. 48 hours of me just like, yeah, those episodes they recorded that day. What's up with that? But yeah, it's good to be home, bro.
6 shows.
Yeah, 7 really.
7.
Austin.
Oh, that's right. So that was the first time at Cap City, right?
Yes, brand new spot.
Brand new spot. So like that was a whole build out process, right? They were moving or something.
Yeah, city permits.
Yeah.
They got to reset. You got to wait 30 days, and the 18-wheeler with all the sound and speakers. Something happened. It's delayed, and you constantly pushing back.
Yeah, for people that don't know, like 5 or 6 times, I think.
I don't remember, but that shit started affecting the San Antonio LOL club because a lot of comedians route it that way, where they might have a Wednesday in Austin. Now you're doing Thursday through Sunday in San Antonio, for example. So once Austin rescheduled them, now they're calling the San Antonio club to reschedule. And now they're like, hey, man, come on. Hit me when you really ready.
I'm trying to hit the road, and then I'm trying to do Rogan's Mothership after that.
Oh, word, yeah. That's really my whole goal, bro, is like, just get so fucking good and comfortable, like, and to tie back to jujitsu, it's like, you know, go from a spazzy white belt to you just more in control, right? And just get so good stand-up wise, like the set, like we polished a lot.
Yeah,
we punched up, we polished, we were editing like crazy. We start the show differently. I was closing on different shit.
So before we move on to the subjects and stuff, like feedback from the crowd, you said you interacted with a bunch of people, you got a lot of feedback.
Oh, bro.
What'd they say?
One dude said, I was sleeping on you. He's like, I definitely slept on you.
On your comedy?
Yes. He's like, I slept on you. He said it a few times. He's like, I was sleeping on you, bro.
What?
And other people just like, our cheeks hurt. Oh my God, so many laughs. And Javi Luna's on another level. Bro, I finally figured it out. After like, you know, days and after day of just being roommates and him being like, hey, you going to jiu-jitsu class again, dog?
Yeah.
And then he was doing, what's that, golf?
Frisbee? Disc golf?
Don't call it frisbee. They get mad, bro.
I didn't say it.
Javi bucked up to me when I said, hey, man, don't forget your frisbee. It's disc golf, my G. But anyway, I finally figured it out. Like, yo, this dude is on another level. Just fucking, I mean, he's always been a murderer, but I'm like, now he's like, black belt with the little red stripe.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what are you doing? And then he basically said, I don't want to put all his business, right? But he basically said, fear no longer controls me.
Ooh.
We were talking about being the state we were in our lives. He's like, dude, I'm in a very peaceful state. Like, and then he's just like, I don't let fear control me. He's like, for many years, fear really held me back. And then I was like, That's what you're doing on stage. I was like, you have zero fucking fear on stage.
He was on the road with Eddie Griffin recently, right?
He opened up for Eddie Griffin in Vegas.
Okay. And then I remember, I mean, I don't know exactly. I read the whole thing, but I forgot it. He had this long Facebook post about, I guess, his performance.
Yeah.
Do you remember the gist of what it was?
Yes.
Was he criticizing himself and something didn't go as planned?
Yeah, basically, this shit's pretty funny. Shout out to Javi Luna. Make sure y'all follow him. And we have a podcast we're talking about. So we're going to see how we're going to do it. 2 bears, 1 cave style.
Nice.
I might have to be Zoom and shit. But basically, he had typed something up like, hey, man, Vegas, yada, yada. And how a lot of people interpreted it was like, damn, this motherfucker, man, he bombed. He made it sound like he had a really rough night. And then I was like, hey, man, so you bombed in Vegas? He's like, I never said I bombed. He was like, you know,
Would you read
he
that,
was like,
my
he was
G?
like, they were laughing. He's like, yeah, I just got in my head a little bit. I was trying to like super kill, and I was just rearranging stuff, and I started doubting myself, but it wasn't no fucking bomb. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I'll come correct next time.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, brother.
2 birds. I'm trying. As you were talking, I was trying to think of a name, like 2 Mexicans in a garage. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how hacky we're going to make this. Los compadres,
Yeah.
órale, pisteando.
Los compas.
But yeah, man, Salt Lake City this Thursday, Vegas. When is this? drop?
Tomorrow drops the 5th.
Okay, so then I'm gonna say tomorrow.
Yeah.
Damn, look at that, dog.
Back on the
Tomorrow, Salt Lake City, Utah, Wise Guys, downtown. See you there. Then Las Vegas, Nevada, 702. I will be at Wise Guys, and it's my wife's birthday. And we kind of made it an unofficial Tapatia gathering. You know, we suggested. I think the way it all started is some folks in the Discord were like, man, sure would be cool if we can just all find a way to get together. And I was like, I have a show in Vegas coming up. That might be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, we'll work stuff around Houston.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't have to be like we're trying to kill 3 birds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trying to make it to jiu-jitsu in the daytime type shit.
Does that make you want to hit up more classes? You know, you're trying to get a lot of classes at home, but, you know, now you probably want to do even more.
Oh yeah, and also here at home, man, at Urban Jungle, they got that MMA class. That shit goes hard. And then everywhere I went, I wore my Urban Jungle rash guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until 10th Planet hooked me up with some dope shit. 'Cause they got the Spurs colors and shit.
Nice.
I wore that shit to El Remedio Tacos, boy.
Your rash guard?
Hell yeah. No, I'm
Like
talking
fucking,
about, let motherfuckers know. No, I'm talking about, hey, Cobra Kai, we up in this bitch.
Is that Donaher over there? No, that's Chingo Bling, bro.
Juan Donaher. Oh, shit. And you know what, bro? Sunday night, we had a nice guest list put together for for Henzo Gracie and 10th Planet so they can, you know, invite some folks. Bro, it was so lit to see these cats. Like, man, I've been seeing y'all all weekend, and like, I never seen you in regular clothes. Oh shit, motherfucker, you know, this your wife, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just had a whole section, and you know, I made sure that I signed my first Baby Glock autograph.
Ooh.
Somebody's like, man, no, put Baby Glock.
That's hilarious. Dude, speaking of Juan Donaher and that whole thing, I went to Texas Gun Club over the week, or at the end of the weekend, just the other day. And I was looking at, are you into knives? Do you like knives?
Yeah, knives are cool.
Knives are cool, right? As a kid, I always liked knives, and out in the pasture, I always needed something to cut hay bales or whatever, right?
When just you cow tip and somebody might run up.
Exactly. Or the cow might run up and you got to do something, right?
shit.
Like Thug Nasty, you might have to just take the neck, whatever. But I was looking for they call it a switchblade, but it's like out OTF, like out the front knives, like this, right? Where you just have the switch.
Okay.
And we were just
OTF, no talking only the family.
Only the fam out the front. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to the guy. We're talking about
Let
knives.
me see that. That was like a thumb drive.
It is. It's called the USB Mini. It's called.
What?
Yeah, it's by Boker. It's one of the and it takes a good amount of pressure. So yeah.
A la madre.
Right. So
okay, go on.
The brand is called. I think it's pronounced Boker, but it's one of the oldest Germany knife making brands like in the world.
Out the front.
Out the front. So I didn't know that OTF. Yeah. So they have. Yeah, right. Until you get used to it, it takes a little bit of real pressure behind it.
You got weak grip.
Yeah, and it's kind of it slides or whatever.
And I got this CBD ointment shit on my hand right now.
Oh yeah, help with the pain. But they got all kind of sizes, and we've seen these in movies. You always see like the mobster movies where the guy's like, give me your whatever, right? And they call that like the stiletto type.
Give me
of
your
knife.
ballads.
Yeah.
Stiletto. Okay.
The long ones, those real long ones that are like shiny and shit. They call them stilettos or whatever. They're Italian knives. But anyway, talking to the guy, and he's trying to sell me on like the Texas gun clubs, all the amenities, right? They got this like VIP lounge that like members get if you have a corporate event. He's like, do you own a business or whatever, this and the other? And we start talking about what I do and whatever. And then you came up because I have to explain like media, like the media stuff that I do, just trying to be nonchalant about it. And he's like, you mean the Chingo Bling? I was like, yeah. He goes, bro, well, I grew up on the South Side, man. I was jamming that. So then he's like reminiscing.
Damn, bro, he make it sound like they only jam me on the South Side.
I mean, that's the way he said it, right? And he's like, he literally was like, man, Cleto and the Air Force, the Air Juans and all this. He's bringing back all the different phrases and shit. I was like, yeah. He's like, man, bring him through. Come through and shoot. So we got a couple places we need to go shoot at that people are hoping you pop into. Just want to put that out there for whenever you're done doing all the jiu-jitsu and all the MMA classes.
Oh yeah, it's hard to kill, big dog.
Hard to kill.
You gotta be a hard target.
Yeah.
And back to the feedback. Some other people said like, yo, I love your message, man. I like the shit you putting out there. And I was like, what specifically? He's like, I love it. Because basically every show is different, right? So one of the shows I might have said something like, come on, fellas, they trying to hate on the men, bro. Like we ain't shit. You know what I mean? Like, and then I kind of went into the whole thing about like all of a sudden gender roles go out the window when shit hits the fan.
Do you have any Latinx shit on your set at all?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. And
you don't have to give it away. I was just curious.
Yeah, it's all right. I might need to run it by a couple comedians. It's okay. Still a little bit too one-dimensional.
That's really, the party's losing the people with the Latinx shit.
Yeah, when I'm like, we got any Latinx? And they're always like confused, like, huh? I'm like, oh, y'all didn't know? That's what we got to go by now.
That's our name now. We're the token Latinxes. Well, speaking of, let's talk about your boy, Joe Breezy.
Joseph Raheem.
Joseph Raheem's giving the speech about Puerto Rico. Did you see this clip?
Nah, bro.
Where he basically is like, in Delaware, I grew up, with a strong, supportive community of Puerto Ricans. Oh my goodness. His tweet, I was gonna start with Brandon tweets.
He's like, when Don Omar first came out, that's what we were listening to. We're sitting in Yandel. Back in the Bayamon and in Los Caserillos.
He sounds like you're from Louisiana over there in the fucking Swamp Boys.
He's like, we can't forget Bad Bunny. He's not affected his game.
I'm trying to find.
Turn us on, turn the pressure.
Bruh, look at this meme.
Oh, bro.
Tell me that's
Quote, I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community at home, politically. Jesus, that is such a funny meme, bro. They put him the little beard and the little Edgar Cuh fade.
Yep.
Wow.
At Woody said if you don't follow it, the page is constantly on fire. It's the only thing these days that isn't shadow banned right now.
Hey, man, meme while it's still legal.
That's a good shirt.
Actually, Silent Meme Jordy has a shirt like that.
Real meme while it's
If anybody wants to buy me that one, I'm talking about I wear a medium. But I wear a large in rash guard right now. You heard me?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got the guns, got the big old
No, it's just I got a belly, so these little love handles finna go away.
We started the challenge in the Discord. I don't know if you've noticed. We got a 90-day challenge left for the last 90 days of the year. So now we're at like 88. As of today, there's only 88 days left in 2022. So we're doing a run to the finish line, and we got probably about a 10 to a dozen of our patrons that are like, okay, they paid an entry fee, and the winner takes the whole pot, and everyone's back in the Puro Gains channel, which kind of went silent for the last 6 months.
Yeah. Hey, even if you don't win, worst case scenario, you look good, you feel good, and shit, confidence go up. Confidence is everything.
Exactly.
That is so important in life.
Exactly.
In so many aspects of life. And you fuck around, get some compliments and shit like, hey, homie, what you been doing, big dog?
That's right.
A little, I'm talking about,
That's right.
When you trying to, defend, you got your knee by your elbow, and that's like a crunch.
Next thing you know, we're going to see you doing Gracie breakdowns of different jiu-jitsu moves.
Man, look, I told Marisol, I was like, hey, because look, she wants to get the girls like in their playroom some indoor gym type of shit, like the un pinche plywood con los plásticos, like the rock climbing,
Oh, like a full blown playground.
Like gymnastic rings.
Yeah,
because Penny does gymnastics, so she's like, hey, sometimes I want to get on the rings, and you could do so much with that alone. Like monkey bars, like a little slide, shit like that, because we're gonna get that. I want to get that big ass couch up out of there. And Marisol said we're probably gonna have to put some kind of mats. So here's why I need y'all's help with persuasion. Now, this is how I tried, and I feel like I hit a wall a little bit. I was like, hey, remember you wanted to put mats for the girls? I was like, homeboy that owns the the jiu-jitsu gym when I was in San Antonio. I was like, homeboy said, hey, if you ever want a home setup, I'm gonna check we can get a discount from the people. So that's kind of how I told her. She's like, no, we're not putting jiu-jitsu mats in here. And I'm just thinking like, it's padding. At the end of the day, it's like, play around. If you fall, you're good.
Yeah, it's true.
So somebody, maybe Rob can...
How did that not sell her, though? That's a really good point.
I know. I was like, hey, jiu-jitsu gyms have mats and they got home setups. And I even said, too, I was like, during the pandemic, all the instructors had to have some mats in their house in the garage and shit. And that's how everybody was getting it in.
Dude,
they couldn't just go cold turkey, babe.
Dude, we need to get some. Don and I have been talking about that because I was like, we need to prepare for her tournament, the Houston Open, or whichever one she's doing, and we need to get some mats in the house. So we've been looking at some too.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
So far, what I've heard, I think it's like Dalumar. Have you heard of that brand? Dalumar. I think they got a home setup like 10x10 for $500.
Okay, that's kind of reasonable for a 10x10 because they're expensive.
All that shit's expensive. I had no idea, man. I was feeling myself. I was doing a whole weekend in San Antonio, man. I hopped up, man. I said, Fuji mats. What y'all got?
Oof.
And I'm like, ooh, y'all want 3 racks?
Oof. How much are the puzzle mats at Academy right now?
Yeah.
Can I tape them together?
Yeah. I mean, worst case, just to drill, yes, you could get by with puzzle mats.
Yeah.
Wrestle around and shit. But bro, man, I've been learning so much. I don't know. Hey, Rob used to have a jiu-jitsu podcast, and we fuck around. I fuck around, talk him into we bringing that shit back.
Still got the feed and everything.
All right.
Yeah.
We shall see.
The Facebook page, you got thousands of people on it still.
Badass.
I don't fuck with it anymore, but it's there. Yeah. We do get requests for it from the community, but we'll see if you want to, yeah. Get all the people from your training schools and stuff. Be like,
yeah. Hey, because I want to do my non-political shit too. All right, this is turning non-political. Hey, you don't have footage of Biden doing his speech?
I did, but I just exited.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
But I do have this tweet. Also, I was going off of it. It's crucial that we help power.
You got to do it in his voice, bro. It's crucial. Do it.
Okay. You do it.
All right. It's crucial that we help the power stay on and quickly be restored when a storm like Fiona strikes. So today, I directed at Secretary... Okay, first of all, they tweet for him.
Of course.
So I might as well not even do it in his fucking voice. Because this shit is not written in his voice.
But some people think that he does tweet.
Fuck, you fucking idiots. You so dumb. All right. So today, I directed at Secretary Granholm to bring to bear all federal resources for Puerto Rico as they rebuild their grid and drive forward their clean energy transformation. You know what word pops into my mind? Corruption and money laundering.
100%.
That sounds like a whole bunch of fattening your pockets.
100%. So when you go down his Twitter feed as of this morning, it's so many of this like, we're rebuilding towards clean energy. There's infrastructure, clean grid. It's just clean grid, clean this,
all the shit that sound good. Like, for example, when people say environmentally friendly cars, environmental friendly car. What? Environment friendly? No, it ain't. It's like, how do y'all get away with just framing stuff a certain way?
There's a lot of stupid people out there.
So let me ask you this: Is Biden about to do to Puerto Rico what Hillary
did to Haiti?
Now, can you explain what happened with? Was it the Red Cross or they were gonna build some shit?
Yeah, well, it's almost like saying their names too many times in one episode. You're like, am I gonna be on this list?
Yeah, my bad. We gotta have code words.
Yeah, right.
And don't be like Hillary and shit like that.
We need to be more subtle than that.
Two on the nose.
But the whole Haiti situation, it was that foundation, right, was supposed to be helping them. It's almost like when I hear you say how China will like offer these areas, money to like rebuild and expand and this, that, and the other, and then they can't repay any of that back. And the next thing you know, you're indebted to them forever.
It's like with the snake tongue.
Exactly.
Do you want some electricity?
Yeah.
It's like, and then the eyes start getting you hypnotized. It's like, but that'll make inflation go bad. It'll hurt our economy. It'll bankrupt us. We can't afford it. I'll give you low interest rate.
I feel like that's the snake from the Garden of Eden.
Or even like, didn't the cat what is that? Alice in
Wonderland?
Alice in Chains. Alice in Wonderland, I think. Didn't the cat?
Is it? I don't remember. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but more than anything, let's stick with the snake metaphor.
All right. Well, that's what I feel like. Like anytime we see these things go like all the crazy, like nefarious,
And
like,
America been doing it. We the best at that shit.
Oh, I know, right? So it's like we're the good guys, but you also know there's a lot of bad going on in there, depending who's helming the ship. But
America, the idea. So our democracy is precious.
The idea, we can just spread it throughout the world. Which, by the way, let me ask you this. How do you feel about that? America always saying, like, we got to spread democracy throughout the globe. Like, how interventionalist should we be, if at all?
It sounds like you're trying to fuck a lot of countries.
Doesn't
you're trying
it,
to
though?
spread your democracy all over the place.
Yeah, this whole like everybody's got to be the same, think the same, believe the same. I don't get behind that.
Well, and it's like wordplay. It's like, what do you mean by democracy? Because arguably, when they go into some of these countries saying we're here to give them freedom,
Yeah.
you know, and like when we went, I guess when we went into Iraq over WMDs allegedly, you know, they were like, you know, these haters, you know, the terrorists, they hate us because our freedom.
That
It's
was
just
what
very
they said.
simplistic.
Yeah.
It's very simplistic. You know, hey, at the time, bro, shit, I was a normie. So I couldn't really peep and discern. I couldn't discern, like, okay, are you trying to get me with some patriotism, or are you trying to punish me for questioning what we're doing over there and for how long and how much and how much blood?
I want to shift to the debate just so that we get it on the free episode where most people are going to hear this. If you don't, where can I sign up for the premium shit, man?
Man, patreon.com/Red Pill Tamales. Red Pill Tamales. And man, I need to work on an intro song and shit. I just saw DJ Rapper Rick, and he's really good at scratching phrases into songs. Like he did the one, the newest one I did with Paul Wall. He did all the scratches on that. He did the scratches on Like This and Like That, and he opened up the show in Austin.
Oh, badass.
Yeah.
So are you getting used to having or are you trying to make it like a regular thing where you have music or DJ or something?
Well,
on
we
stage?
didn't do it in San Antonio because it was like, man, 6 shows, bro. You know, economics. Know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But Rapper Rick hooked it up, bro. I was on his album, so you know we just been working together. Sometimes it just depends. Like if it's easy, you know, like if it's like, oh, I know someone there already, and so on, it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah. What were we just talking about?
We're talking about Hillary, and I guess we already moved on.
Yeah, we gotta move on
Watch
for
that
that.
name.
Yeah,
Gutsy.
yeah. Gutsy. Which I heard you're still watching it, right?
No, fuck no.
No, I was asking you about the Beto and the Governor Abbott debate. Did you watch any of it or highlights or nothing?
No.
It's supposedly might be the only one that they do. So it wasn't televised. It wasn't. I mean, nationally, it wasn't televised. It wasn't even televised in the state. It was on a bunch of different news stations' YouTube channels. Go find it. The San Antonio station did a good job covering it. They had like the best picture quality, in my opinion. But dude, it's really interesting. For starters, it's a terrible format. Do you ever watch a debate and you're like, why? So in the comments, somebody said, why did we hear for 6 weeks about Amber Heard pooping in a bed, but we're giving the governors, the alleged or the potential governor and governor, 15 to 60 seconds to reply to things?
15 seconds.
It was literally like 60 seconds for the initial question, 30 seconds for like a rebuttal, and then like 15 seconds if the other person interrupts, which Beto would constantly do. He would go over his time. I don't know how many times he had to say like, we're not going to talk over each other, this, that, and the other. But it was just, the ding was so fucking loud too. It was like, ding, that's enough, governor. Ding, that, all right, Beto. Like they didn't even let him fucking get into any kind of flow. How should Texas handle debates, Chingo?
Well,
What's
man,
the best format?
This is the best format, bro.
Long form podcast, right?
I'll tell you. Yeah, you have them come over here, RPT Studios. You know, we have y'all can have y'all's little secret service or whatever. I don't know if you roll with Navy SEALs and shit, but we roll with Thea.
Yep.
And so you could really bring whatever the fuck you want. You know, you want to have your people come check, make sure the place ain't bugged or whatever. It's all good. Thea done already checked, and we should do it right here at this table, long form. You know what I'm saying? I want a clean, fair fight. And just do it a conversation and really listen to each other. And, you know, things are always going to be nuanced. You know, because a lot of times, bro, with like tribalism and this whole left, right, red, blue, yada, yada, a lot of times it ends up sounding like, well, y'all don't care about people and y'all care too much. And, you know, well, y'all are all pedophile groomers. And it's like, all of y'all are fucking insurrectionists then.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, when are we going to fucking actually have a real debate and real discourse?
Do you think these debates actually sway anybody? Like, do you think it really, like, in my opinion, like when you watch it, if you're already voting for Beto, there's nothing Abbott's going to say it's going to make you vote for him. If you're voting for Abbott, vice versa, right? So how many people in the middle you think watched Francis tried to say, I don't know, maybe 17, 18 times within that 45 minutes, the grid, and you did nothing. It's 8 weeks or however long it's been since between Uvalde, the grid, and his inability to reprimand the police officers at the border or state troopers are doing, you know, XYZ at the border wall or whatever he wants to call it. That was it. Like there was no original thought in how he would make the state better. It was just, he's been in office 8 years. the way he talks, man, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so disingenuous.
Well, yeah, I mean that's how you see it, but other people perceive it as, see, now that's good talking, now that's good persuasion. But check this out. When I went to Henzo Gracie for a class in San Antonio, Henzo Gracie, shout out to Phil, the Bexar County Democrat Party offices were like 3 doors down in like the same little complex. And dude, I walked by and I was thinking to myself, like, I was looking at all their signage, how they would persuade. How it'd be like, instead of saying like, we're going to take your guns, it'd be like, end gun violence and things like that. And it's like how they frame things. And I was this close to walking in and just saying, hey, I'm undecided, I'm independent. Could you maybe tell me why I should vote for your people? Who are your candidates? And tell me why. Because I wanted to pick that shit apart.
Right.
Because you weren't finna just be like, oh, it's because the Republicans are racist white people.
I'm gonna bring some of it up just to. We got like 20 minutes left, so we're just kind of skim through it. I want to get some of your thoughts on it, right? Just so you can see how his persuasive, or both of them, right? Not just Beto, but
yes, because
go ahead.
It tends to be logic versus maybe more facts,
right?
Or I'm sorry, not logic. It's more like emotion,
right?
Emotion versus logic. So let's see how they persuade.
So let's see what this one. I'm gonna start from the beginning, and then we'll kind of scrub through a little bit.
Then have 30 seconds.
That was the
there
format.
There will be up to 30 seconds allowed for any rebuttals. At the end of the debate,
Pause real
each
quick.
candidate will have.
How long have these been the rules?
They change that from debate to debate.
I wonder if this was set up to favor Beto's style, where it's like, if you keep it short, he's able to just be like, the grid, and it's been this many weeks since the children and murderer, and then be like, oh, sorry, you're done. Instead of, see, the grid, what we need to go 50% turbines. We need to get off of, like, okay, keep talking, motherfucker, so you could fuck up and say some dumb shit.
That would be interesting. That is interesting because the reason, and I didn't read in why, but y'all can fact check in the comments below because I'm sure somebody will when they get to this part of the podcast. The reason there's no people in the auditorium apparently was that was Governor Abbott's request. So he said no live audience. Any input on why that may have been?
Maybe he was trying to avoid like people pulling stunts or
That's what I
heckling.
Thought. Yeah, because
trying to run up and shit.
Beto's kind of one of those, like, he'll just kind of pander to, if somebody's making noise about something he's talking about, he'll be like, yeah, like, him, or like the guy who's like, fuck you, or whatever, right? Like, he'll make a scene and kind of just get more of the clickbaity clips out of that debate.
Exactly. Especially when you're able to be like, it's been 17 weeks since Uvalde, Texas has suffered the daughter in that community and those children and those parents, and they were not, and then he'll get visual, and there are empty seats now in that school, and forever a scar under your watch, and then I don't know if they would be allowed to.
Right. But that's how I thought of it.
Well, yeah, especially if you're on the woke side, emotion, Latinas that are all Chicana studies, and they're all Chicanex, and they're all fucking
sounds like gum.
Pendejex.
Pendejex.
So yeah, all right, my bad. Okay.
No, that's good.
30 seconds for closing statements, and when your time is up, you're going to hear this bell.
Loud ass
and
fucking
with that,
bell.
let's get started. I'm going to send it over to my colleague Sally with the first question.
Britt, thank you. And again,
Sally
thank you
from the Valley
both for being here tonight. I can tell it's going to be an exciting night. Got a lot of questions to ask you both, but I just want to remind you, please pay attention to the time cues.
I don't know, dude.
You're not
Fucking
talking
damn moderator.
over each other, and I don't have to interrupt.
Orale,
you, and
RGV.
Our viewers at home can hear your answers tonight. Let's get to it. Immigration. Immigration issues are especially
He's gonna
relevant
be like, this is
here
my
in the
stomping
Rio
ground.
Grande Valley. For years, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has ranked it as the #1 area for migrants crossing illegally along the entire southwestern border. Many communities here have suffered enormous monetary costs. Governor Abbott, let's start with you, and you have 60 seconds with this question. What would you do to alleviate the financial burden placed on these communities?
We've been working to respond to the disaster caused by the Biden administration that has caused such an economic burden on these communities. Farms and ranches are run over. Communities are disrupted. Homes that are invaded. Remember this, just 2 years ago, we had one of the safest borders in decades, but under the Biden administration, we have more people coming across the border than ever in the history of our country. Texas has responded by making sure that we have the National Guard and DPS deployed where they're making arrests and turning back illegal immigrants, as well as what we're doing to help local communities by busing them from the area where Border Patrol is dropping them off to sanctuary cities in northeastern parts of the country. But what we're doing is
Beto, he can't wait.
sure
Yeah.
that we are keeping our
He's
community
like,
safe.
he's like,
This is
I'm not going to have any
different
facts. I'm going to go
the way
strictly
things would
visual.
be
Dude, he does.
under
I'm gonna use
Beto,
fear.
because he said
And
months
emotion.
ago,
He just makes
there's
shit
no
up, too.
problem on the border. He said that he would reduce immigration enforcement. He even said that 95% of people come across the border illegally, he would allow to stay.
Okay, Mr. O'Rourke, I want to give you a chance to respond. And let me just repeat the question first for our viewers and for you. What would you do to alleviate the financial burden placed on border communities related to migrants crossing over 60 seconds, please?
What we just heard from the governor is what we are likely to hear over the course of this debate. He's going to blame people like President Biden. He's going to try to lie about my record, and he's going to distract from his failures, whether it's his failure to keep the lights on in the grid, his failure to address school shootings, or his failure in immigration. We are 8 years into his time as governor, and this is what we have on our border. In fact, $4 billion into Operation Lone Star. We're seeing not fewer, but more encounters at our border right now. What we need is a safe, legal, orderly path for anyone who wants to come here to work, to join family, or to seek asylum. If you come to this country, we expect you to follow the law. But on our side, we're going to make sure that our laws reflect our values and our interests. And I'm going to work with local leaders, Republicans and Democrats alike, to make sure that we have a Texas-based guest worker program to alleviate shortages that we have in our state for labor demands and reduce inflation and address supply chain issues.
So slavery? Is that what you're saying?
You just heard your opponent talk
Pay these
about
people
Operation Lone
pennies?
Star, and I have a follow-up question about that. About $4 billion in state funds has been directed to the Operation Lone Star Border Security Initiative. The program has seen its funding increase as recently as this past July. So the question, Governor, in 30 seconds, if you can, to answer this, should more money be allocated towards Operation Lone Star? And if so, Governor, how much?
Well, candidly, we shouldn't have to allocate any money for it because this is all because of Joe Biden's failure to do the president's job to secure the border. We're only having to do that because of Joe Biden's failure and because it would be the same pathway that Beto would take us down. Speaking of which, he talked about this guest worker program. He could have done that had he won the race for the Senate or won the race for president. That's not a job for governor. The job of governor is have to deal with the chaos caused by the Biden administration and its open border policies that Beto would replicate.
What we have is chaos thanks to Governor Abbott right now.
Okay, let me give you 15 seconds to answer the question for me.
Oh, you're doing the Mayweather counterpunch.
$0 should be going to Operation Lone Star, and that's what it would be.
So, you know, this is kind of basically what you would expect the entire debate, right? And I'm just going to pick somewhere else where he's talking.
I need to be focused on what we can get done. Raising the minimum age of purchase to 21, we can get that.
Patreon.com/Red Tamales. Shout out to Rockfin, ROKFIN.
So I'm going to back it up just a little bit because this is one of those.
On gun control, including this comment you made in 2019 while running for president.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against...
See, that's why you don't want a live audience.
Right.
But in February, you told reporters in Tyler that you were, quote, not interested in taking anything away from anyone. So which is it, Mr. O'Rourke? Are you for confiscating AR-15 style weapons or not? You have 30 seconds.
After losing 23 of my neighbors to somebody armed with a weapon of war, after
if you're not watching,
these
you got to see his face.
Who could only identify their children in Uvalde by the shoes that they were wearing, it's clear to me that the only place that an AR-15 or an AK-47 makes sense is on a battlefield. But as governor of the state of Texas, I need to be focused on what we can get done. Raising the minimum age of purchase to 21, we can get that done. A red flag law, we'll get that done. Universal background checks, we will get that done. We'll make progress and take action where this governor has failed.
Thank you, Mr. O'Rourke. So just to be clear,
here.
yes or no, are you for confiscating AR-15 style weapons?
I'm for making sure that we make progress. Those families that I was just with from Uvalde want us to take action. This is the common ground. I've listened to Republicans and Democrats alike on this. We can agree on this much. Raise the age to 21.
Okay.
Red flag law and universal.
Thank you.
Fucking answer the question.
Okay. Ready? Yeah, no. check this out, bro. Shout out to Scott Adams. Listening to him and shit and reading some of his books, I really got into persuasion. Like he has like a recommended list as well of books. All right, Beto O'Rourke. These are the two big emotional heartstring tugs, right? Visuals, right? So he says he didn't say Texans lost members of the community. He said neighbors. He said 20, whatever, 20, I forget, I'm sorry, 23 or 24. He said, of my neighbors. He said neighbors. That's a very persuasive word because that has all these connotations. And you're going to project onto that word what you feel good about neighborhood and community. So, oh, fuck, dude, that's personal. That's my neighbor. Okay? The shoes. What did he say? They had to identify them or something or other. The shoes. Now, bro, visual. And then there's fear. And it's like, that's a fucking knockout punch in debate, especially when, you know, the audience might have been kind of dumbed down to the point where if you hit them only with like numbers and figures and data and facts, that might not be as persuasive. So this is a fun exercise to pretend that, imagine if Abbott's team was like, hey, man, we got the debate coming up, Big Don. I need Baby Glock to give me the fight camp. You know what I'm saying? What's the strategy, Big Don? And then we could be like, look, 15 seconds ain't a lot. You're going to have to figure out a way, like, what was the question? Immigration. You use the same tactics. Yeah. You use the same tactics instead of just saying, like, the failure of the federal government, which is true. We shouldn't have to be spending none of this money, which is true. Record amount of people, true. It's almost like, look, I don't know how, off the top of my head, I don't know if you want to be like, it's like a plague. You don't want to be like, these are like parasitic.
It's an invasion.
Yeah,
Carrie Lake style.
Exactly. That'd probably been a better thing. It's like, hey, when we talk about, that would be good keywords, right? If Rob and I went and did a whole fight camp with the governor before his thing, it'd be like, okay, when we bring up immigration, what's our visual? And he's gonna be like, oh yeah, invasion. Yeah, good. You know what I'm saying? What's the other topics? The guns? Oh, is he about to answer the gun thing?
Yeah,
or?
Guns, and then
economy.
Abortion was the last one. I forgot what was between guns and abortion, but I think Abbott might have gone second.
Steve has the next question.
Thank you, Grover. We want to focus in now more on the Uvalde shooting. A gunman killed 19 children in 2 attacks.
Yes, I know, right?
Its effects go far beyond.
He's like, this
Uvalde.
is my closer, bro. This is my
Mr.
shit.
O'Rourke,
It's basically, we're gonna let you hit Governor Abbott in the chin
statewide
while he has his hands behind his back.
Right. At school. What would you do if elected to prevent this from happening again? You have 60 seconds.
Just like you, I'm a parent. With Amy, we're raising Ulysses and Molly and Henry in El Paso, and we are well aware that it's been 18 weeks and this governor has not lifted a finger to make it any less likely that any of our kids will meet that same fate. We need change. The governor just talked about mental health care. We are dead last in the nation when it comes to mental health care access, and he took $211 million from the mental health care budget of the state of Texas. He'll talk about police funding. He failed to fund the police radios in Uvalde, even when that police department asked for them. And you know what? Those radios failed on that day. I want every parent out there to know that the lives of your children are more important to me than the NRA or any special interest or any other political consideration. I will prioritize them ahead of everything else, and we will take action and we will make progress. We'll bring Republicans, Democrats, independents alike together, and we'll get the job done where this governor has failed to do so.
Governor Abbott, to you now. The families of the victims, the Uvalde School District, the Uvalde County Commissioners, the Uvalde City Council,
pause
all
right
asked
quick.
for you to call a special.
Did anything stand out to you on that round?
Right at the beginning, he mentioned all his kids' names.
Oh, those are his kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, so far he's kind of losing that round. Next time we got some shit like this, we got to do like a fight companion.
Ooh, I like
that.
Like
a RPT debate companion.
I like it. Yeah.
Fucking nerds. And then we can play Dungeons and Dragons.
You like Dungeons? You like D&D? Yeah.
Man, we hit this one comedy spot after like the Saturday or after the Friday night shows, and it was like a little Dungeons and dragon type thing gathering upstairs, and then downstairs was the fucking comedy. But anyway,
They're all dressed up and shit.
so here's what I wrote down. He said, it's been 18 weeks and there's been no action and we need change. So the whole thing about do something, take action, you've done nothing. That's kind of like a sneaky jab, that's because it's kind of like, what have you done?
Yeah.
Because it's like,
peppering him up
if
with
you
that
really care, it almost makes it, I mean, in a way, it could be Abbott's response because he's kind of trapped. You're trapping him by saying, you've done nothing. It's almost like, bro, you got to do something.
If he has done nothing, right? If that's true. You have to keep that in mind as well as a viewer.
Yeah, I don't know. But he can rebut maybe saying like, hey, you haven't heard about HR or whatever.
Right.
I don't know how they be doing all that type of shit.
Special session
I think he
in the wake
answers
of the
that.
tragedy. You did not, despite calling them on several other issues.
The radios failed.
Can you
Right,
explain
not true,
why you
from
didn't
what I
call a
have
special
read
session?
myself.
You have 60 seconds.
I will, but I must first respond to what we have to respond to every single day. Beto's campaign continues to spew lies and false information. He said two things that are completely false. He said that we're last in mental health care. The fact of the matter is, Texas is now 27th in mental health care because of funding that I provided. Texas has provided more than $25 billion for mental health care in the last 3 sessions. He also said that we did not fund police radios in Uvalde. Completely false. We provided $1.6 million for Uvalde alone for their police radio systems since I've been governor. So Beto continues to provide false information. What I want to make sure that the leaders in Uvalde know is, as we've shown, we don't need to call a special session in order to take action. For 6 consecutive days after the shooting took place, I issued directives to make schools safer and to respond to the emergency in Uvalde. And then I remain engaged with the mayor, with the local leaders.
It could have been worse.
Oh my God. Oh, hold on, dog. Hold on, dog. This motherfucker. Okay, dog. This motherfucker blue belt, bro, in his debate. Shit. He fights dirty, bro. Yeah. Ready? This is O'Rourke's strategy. If you go first, lie.
Yeah.
Now he has to spend his time, instead of answering your question or being visual or being persuasive, debunking what the fuck you just said. After the bell rings on him, throw in another punch.
Yeah.
Could have been worse, was his quote.
Right.
Boom. Dirty motherfucker. Okay, so he said the radios failed. Boom, that was a lie. And then here goes a little bit more visual, I don't want to say word salad, but it's just like this phrase: the lives of your children will mean more to me than any NRA. Well, that's a really good way of making yourself sound good by being anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment. Because at the end of the day, you're really just anti-Second Amendment, and you're trying to use this to make
the scapegoat
to do your power, your bidding. But the way he frames it is slick, because he's like, to everyone listening right now, if you could hear the sound of my voice from Uvalde, Texas, and beyond.
Why does he sound downsy? God damn it.
Okay, the lives of your children. I love analyzing this shit. I should have popped a gummy before I did this, or hit the weed before I did this. The lives of your children will always be a priority to me and will mean more to me than the NRA or any other. If there was a crowd there, that's the cue.
Yeah. That's your clap sign.
When you're speaking in public, you have to find ways in your cadence to give people permission to that was a laugh. That was what was it? It was an applause line. You dumb sons of guns. Then Nancy,
applause, you dumb sons. That was Biden.
And then Nancy said, that was an applause line.
You stupid bastards.
So right there, Beto has to say his applaud line without the immediate feedback.
Yep. Exactly.
That's what you told those families. That's what you told that community, and you have done nothing to help them.
Mr. O'Rourke, we're not done with this topic yet.
Look, bro. So look, he's able to overstep the rules
over and over again.
He's able to overstep the rules under the veil of I'm emotional and I care. These are children. Hey, listen, no, that was you. That was so wrong, and the pain and the devastation, and you have done nothing. You've taken no action. You're just going back to your playbook.
Right.
This is, like you Triple G or whoever. Like you have your little playbook. This is fascinating, dog. Wow, he's so far, bro. So far from what I've seen, and I don't, because I talk so much, I've only seen about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's like, you ever see like a Mayweather fight or something where they're like, oh my God, dude, he won because he's working the clinch better.
Yeah.
He's
shoulder rolling better.
or they're doing a little bit of wrestling in there. Or, he's just attacking he's just punching his shoulder over and over again, punching his shoulder over or whatever,
yeah,
right?
He's cutting the angles.
Holy crap. All right.
So you will have your say. But Governor, I want to follow up with you. There's a regular session coming up in January. Will you make school safety an emergency item for lawmakers when they meet? You have 15 seconds.
Absolutely. Just like I did in past sessions. This is going to be an emergency item. Over the summer, I requested special legislative committees to begin working already so that they will have ready when we begin the session to address Uvalde, but the broader-based issue across the entire state of Texas,
if it's an emergency,
as you
call a
mentioned
special
earlier.
session now. Why wait till the next year?
Mr. O'Rourke, a question for you now.
Gun violence is a leading cause of death for children and teenagers in this state. Why are you waiting?
Dude, he just continues to talk over the moderators.
Stop. STAHHHPPPP. He constantly he's keeping Abbott in defensive mode.
He's keeping him on his back foot
because he's an incumbent, number one.
Yeah,
and allegedly all this happened under your watch,
right?
And you've done nothing. So he's constantly keeping him on defensive mode, and it's offense. It's like as soon as Abbott is done, you're jumping in. Before they ask the question, you're jumping in. You're just throwing fucking punches, bro. You're gonna throw so many punches in between rounds that you're not even allowed to be throwing.
Yeah, because they're going to toss the time back to him. In between him getting his time, he's throwing these little fucking sneaky
punch,
jabs.
offense, lie.
We need to move on. We've got a lot of topics we want to get to, but we want to stay on Uvalde because there's still some questions that we have here. So I appreciate you staying within your time.
It's like Abbott is guilty till proven innocent.
Exactly.
He's having to be
as most incumbents are, right?
Who led the initial law enforcement response at Robb Elementary was fired. Is there anyone else who should be held accountable for the mistakes made in that hallway in Robb Elementary that day? You have 30 seconds.
The governor said it himself in an interview to Gromer Jeffers last month. There should be accountability up and down the ballot, beginning with Greg Abbott. I think he has lost the right to serve this state in the most important position of public trust. Furthermore, we know that there were 91 DPS troopers for whom he is responsible who were on the other side of an unlocked door, some for more than 70 minutes. There is a complete failure to hold people responsible accountable. Those families still do not have justice. As governor, I will make it my priority.
Thank you, Mr. O'Rourke. Governor, now to you.
There was it. Go ahead.
I'll give you 15 seconds if you want to respond to what he said.
I was going to answer the question. I thought you were going to ask me, but
I've got another question for you. Right after the shooting, you said this.
This is not something you just.
Goddamn ads.
So when it comes to the shooting thing, it's almost like Abbott's response and rebuttal to I don't know if it's like I don't know the difference between red herring and fucking straw man.
Okay,
I ain't no debate nerd, but basically when it comes to the shooting. It's the O'Rourke. Hold on, pause. My bad, bro.
No.
O'Rourke. I'm trying to unpack all this shit and dissect it. O'Rourke takes the shooting thing, tragedy, and basically pins it on Abbott. He's like, he said there should be accountability starting with you, and it's like, whoa, hold up, dog. And it's almost like Abbott's reply is, wait, so your solution is to penalize.
The sitting governor.
No. People's gun rights.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, some bad shit happened with a crazy person, but you're focusing on the governor and the style of gun, and now you're going to penalize motherfuckers like Rob and Chingo, who just want to have their pew-pews,
right,
and they baby Glocks. All right.
But the reality is, as horrible as what happened, it could have been worse.
It could have been worse. You heard Mr. O'Rourke bring it up. You later said you were misled about what happened inside Robb Elementary. If my memory serves me right, that was the day after. So we were just moments after what had happened. Who misled you, and will they be held accountable? You have 30 seconds.
Everyone in that briefing room that provided me the information about what law enforcement did, what that comment was based upon was information by law enforcement about all the children in all the other classrooms that they evacuated during the time when the shooter was on the campus. What they did not tell me at the time, however, was that there were dozens, if not more, of other law enforcement that were hanging around in the hallway for over an hour without engaging in the Columbine protocol and going in and immediately removing that shooter, which is what they were supposed to do. And because they failed to do that, there does need to be accountability, not just for Pete Arredondo, but also for local law enforcement. DPS officers are under investigation as we speak right now. There needs to be accountability for law enforcement at every level for not following the Columbine protocol.
You will be sure to hold DPS troopers accountable.
Yes,
as governor.
In a word, yes. But second, there are at least 7 who are under investigation as we speak right now, 2 of whom are on suspension as we speak right now. And so I expect DPS officers and law enforcement across the state to follow the Columbine protocol.
Governor, the buck stops on your desk. You blame everyone else. You blame Joe Biden for other issues.
We need to move on.
You blame people for misleading
topics,
you.
and actually,
You are misleading this state.
Sally will ask the next question.
I do, and I think you're both going to want to talk
Damn,
about
Floyd.
this topic. It's the topic of abortion.
Damn,
a
Floyd.
recent Next Star, Emerson College, and the Hill poll shows more than half of those polled say they are more likely to vote in this election because of the overturning of Roe versus Wade.
So this is where they get into the Roe v. Wade. So you wanna do this on the next episode for the Patreon? Keep dissecting this a little bit, or you want to keep going on this?
Yeah, we could switch gears.
Okay, no, because I want to get back to it because your breakdown of it is really like a Fight Companion fucking. Big breakdown.
I don't know. I'm trying to. So far that I'm peeping O'Rourke's little fucking tactics.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll definitely get back to this. Let's just jump over the Discord real quick before we wrap Wednesday's public episode up and see what these
Man, when
agents.
is this gear available, Big Dog?
We got to decide a date. We haven't decided a date yet.
Okay,
But it will be this month. It'll be October.
All right, let me know if we need to put more designs on there or anything like that.
For sure. We'll go through the ones that you emailed me actually. Going over to the Discord. Un segundo.
Juan
Segundo. Let's see. Going into
Juan Danaher.
Dude, you got to do that sketch. Maybe it'll catch his attention. He'll do like a breakdown, like, "Oh, Chingo Bling here. It's doing a Juan Danaher."
Yeah.
Great debates. Let's see.
Gordo Ryan.
Damn.
Ryan Gordo.
Let's go into the Great Debates channel because we haven't gotten to that one in a little while. Rob GTV, gotta ask Chingo the simple that question. We got into some deep bidet discussion last week. What is that? Bidet? Bidet. Jesus Christ.
They say birria.
You got into you got into a bidet conversation.
Who is this?
Corpitos Trompitos.
We got into a bidet conversation.
For real, ask yourself if you had mud on your arm, would you wipe it with a dry towel or spray it with high pressure water?
Where was this convo in Corpus? Because I just saw him in San Antonio.
Yeah,
we were not talking.
This
about
must have
that.
been from Corpus.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember this or no?
No, but I've anytime, like for example, Mo Amer has a whole bit on his new special where he talks about like bidets and like how the rest of the world be having this stuff, and he goes into that. But yeah, that's pretty much the argument. Like,
you're a bidet fan though, right?
Yeah, of course, dog. You gotta know what I'm talking about. You gotta take care of everything.
Take care of everything. Sucio Degenerate Scribe said, "Bro, I had another homie on Facebook tell me I was gay because I like baby wipes."
Another homie told him that. What homie is this?
One of Scribe's homies said he's gay because he likes baby wipes.
Oh, my Lord have mercy. So, eres hombre, güey. Sí, puro pinche papel.
Exactly.
Puro hombre.
I need to send this is Corpitos Trompitos. I need to send Chingo a bidet seat. Bidet got the blow dryer, the deodorizer, LED lights. We got the one that opens when you walk up, flushes automatically. It's got Bluetooth and shit. Holy shit.
Corpitos?
Yeah.
Man, where you get that at, dog?
He's got that hookup. That's where he.
Oh yeah, man!
Remember?
Come on, bro.
You want the full 9? You want all the tech in your
yeah?
Because
the one we got don't do all that shit.
Yeah, barely flushes. Just kidding.
This motherfucker, dog. Which one of all these toilets?
Yeah, right. Let's see. Corpitos again. I need closure. Chingo got to decide for the next pansexual pandemic. Going to buy a shitload of TP or one reasonably priced bidet. Oh.
What was it? Say the question. What's the question?
So during the next pansexual pandemic, you're going to buy a shitload of TP or a reasonably priced bidet?
Actually, I think we got that bidet, reasonably priced bidet, during the pandemic. Because I saw everybody buying toilet paper too, and I was just like, by the way, Javi has a funny joke about that, like why people stocking up on toilet paper during the pandemic. But I think that's when we finally just said, man, order the motherfucker. I got to figure out how to install it, how to like hook it up. And everything.
Under that, he literally said, plus Javi had a big segment on this topic. Why the fuck was everyone hoarding TP anyway? And his poor man's bidet, the hand shower.
Yeah, the hand shower. Yeah. Yeah, no, Javi was killing it, dog.
There's a lot of bidet talk in there. Okay, so it's clear you're a bidet fan.
Yeah.
RPT questions. Can you read this for the people? It says Juan Vic Stoner. There's only one boss, the customer. He can fire everybody in the company from the chairman down simply by spending his money somewhere else. Sam Walton from Walmart. I totally agree with that. Right? The customer is the boss, basically, of everything. Just like the listeners or the fans of anything or the supporters of whatever are the boss of that content creator and the content itself. And you know who's seeing that? The box office, which we'll get into on the next episode.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll get some more questions then to, I guess, tell everybody where you're going to be tomorrow night, man.
Salt Lake City, Wise Guys Comedy Club, downtown. Watch out for the homeless people down there. But it's going to be lit, man. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
We'll see you Thursday.
Yes, sir.